Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. As you can see, I'm very casual this morning because I have a very exciting day of household projects planned. I've been working on converting the guest room into my proper office because right now I actually live in what should be the dining room. So I have lots to do, maybe some painting, definitely moving furniture, and covering those file cabinets with peel and stick wallpaper. I have visions of myself getting actually just wrapped up in the sticky wallpaper and never getting loose, but hopefully that won't happen. I'll manage it. If I can get some things done, I should have some good photographs to share with you for the next video. Jumping right into stitching in action, we have 3 today. First off, Maggie B stitched up blanket flower. She made this into a fun little pillow for her friend and put it in that teeny tiny little dough bowl. I love that so much. And then she put that beautiful backing fabric on. That is just perfect. So thank you, Maggie. Next up, Ken C stitched the quilting bee. This is going to be a gift for a friend, but on the way to being a gift, he sent it to the local fair and won a blue ribbon. Well done, Ken. That is just wonderful. I love it. And then finally, Emily W stitched up Night Walk Down, and she did it on 18 count Aida that she dyed herself, got properly drunk with power, and chose all of her own colors from her stash, and decided she wasn't feeling like stitching the border, so she did it without, and I love it. I love the way that came out. Thank you so much, Emily. I've been watching this one as you've stitched it and shared photos of your progress, so it's a treat to see it all finished up. As always, if you've stitched a blue flower design, I would love to see it. Send me a photograph at blueflowerstitching@gmail.com. And there's a link on the website as well for that. If you are thinking of stitching a blue flower design and you want to see what other people have done, the Stitching in Action page will show you these and other amazing photographs from creative stitchers like yourself. What I'm stitching. Still working on the same project, obviously. And this is the DMC Bodleian Library collection with, it's hard to see, but the teeny greyhounds in the border. I haven't made a ton of progress, which is not too surprising. But I did get to stitch the first greyhound finally. So I've done it on this light purple, blue, gray fabric, and I love the way that it's coming out. So it's fun when I get a chance. I work on a little section, and I still have to figure out what to do in the middle, but not for a while yet, because it's taking me quite a while to finish the border. So, all right, stash spotlight. Now, when I was in Portland, this is another thing from the Portland trip. You may know Steph and I got to meet Beth Twist and go visit her at her house. Well, when we met up, she said, I have a present for you. My local grocery store had Ort jars, and I'm thinking, really? Here we go. I found myself in Oregon Ort jar with a compass in the bottom, you know, in case you lose your stitching. So, Beth, you're awesome. Thank you. You didn't know, any of you, I certainly didn't, that you could buy Ort jars at the grocery store, but now I know. All right, the world around. This time, since we talked about the Douglas fir last time, this time it's the red tree vole, which is an animal that is in danger because of habitat loss. The red tree vole is a very small rodent, about the size of a mouse, that lives only in the very top of mature Douglas fir trees. So you can imagine with a very narrow habitat like that, they're going to be vulnerable. They only live in trees that are old enough to have branches large enough for them to create nests. Which means not only do they not live in new growth after a wildfire or newly replanted growth, but they also live very high up, almost exclusively, so 50 feet up off the ground very often. They are amazing animals. They live almost exclusively from eating the pine needles and the moisture on those pine needles of a Douglas fir. And as you can imagine, that diet requires some special gut bacteria to be able to digest. Now, if they're startled or hunted, threatened, like by a spotted owl, who's made a bit of a habit of eating them, they will leap off the tree 100 feet to the ground just to get away. They leave the nest and often will find a new branch in the very same tree, so that you have these multi-generational colonies in the tops of these trees, all living together in their tiny little microclimate. So the red tree vole, everyone, which you will probably never see unless you happen to go to the very top of a Douglas fir, which, as we know, is not a fir. Last video, the question was, what is your favorite kind of soup? And I blame all of you for my constant state of hunger. Every time I tried to answer questions, someone would mention a delicious soup, and all I would be thinking about was eating. So thank you all for that. We have made some good soups and stews over the last 2 weeks. Question this video: do you have a favorite Halloween candy? Now, obviously, not everyone celebrates Halloween. Not everyone likes candy. We actually stopped buying candy for Halloween a couple of years ago when Rye came, because we need to do some work with her on not barking like so much and so intensively when someone comes to the door. So having trick-or-treaters all evening hasn't been very practical. So we just stopped buying the candy, which is fine. But I realized I really like Almond Joy, and so does my husband. And I never buy them except in Halloween candy. So it's been several years since I've had an Almond Joy. Not that I couldn't go get one, but I just wondered, do you have a favorite candy? Doesn't have to be Halloween, but something that you will always go to if given a choice. Best thing this video is the office. As I said, I'm currently in the dining room and have been since we moved into this house, but we're starting the process of letting me have the guest room as a proper office. Not to say that I wouldn't still occasionally spill out into the rest of the house. I'm sure I will, but it will be very nice to have a space that's really mine with a door on it, and I'm very excited to start doing that work, even though I know there will be a lot of whinging and moaning about my back and but I'm still, yeah, very excited about that. So I'm off to go get tangled up in wallpaper here pretty soon. Giveaway. Last video with the little chubby bird design and all of the kit that goes with it from Jeannette Douglas. The winner on that one, using the keyword acorns, is Nicole Goulet. Nicole, if I've pronounced that improperly, please let me know, and just drop me an email with your address so I can get that mailed off to you. Thank you everyone for the very creative acorn comments. It brought back one of my earliest memories when a friend and I were eating acorns and didn't know that we maybe shouldn't, and that was the first time and last time that I was given ipecac, because apparently you don't just go off in the woods and eat random things without checking with your mother first. So that was that. Give away this video from Mojo Stitches. This is one of her newest ones from the Online Needlework Expo. It's called In the Library, and it is designed with this terrific series of threads from Cottage Garden that are called also, I think, In the Library. But they have this whole range, and she's got a couple of charts that go with these. All of these colors harmonize very well together. And so this whole chart is done with the Cottage Garden threads, although there is an overdyed conversion to give you options. I'm not giving you all of the threads because it's kind of a lot, but I did get an extra set, and so I've got a couple here that I'm including. Mercator, that's a great one. Clothbound. Sleepy Cat. Gotta have a sleepy cat in the library. And Hot Cocoa. So if you win, and I've just realized that I forgot to put a keyword in my notes, so I'll make it up as we're speaking. But if you win, you'll get this In the Library thread and those 4 flosses to go with it. Again, wonderful chart. You can see the sleepy orange cat here, all of the fun library things. So great, great design from a great designer. The keyword for that one is going to be library, because I don't have any imagination when I'm put on the spot. So that's what it's going to be. Use the word library in your comments and be entered to win. This is a short video, even by my standards, but I'm off to go work on the guest room. I do have a nice puppy video coming up with some seasonally appropriate music, so I hope you enjoy that. I hope you have a very lovely weekend, and thank you so much for joining me. Bye.